Alright, this is my second attempt at this video. The audio was messed up the first time, so I'm going to do this again real quick. This is a cartridge guide from the Atari 7800, and a common problem with these on some 7800 consoles. It seems like the older ones, it's not such a common problem, but that you have a hard time inserting particularly third-party games into the cart slot. Because these corners here are tapered and it's not actually square. These corners tend to bind up, and the taper actually gets worse as it gets deeper in the slot. So initially you can start it a little bit, and if you can see right here, this cart is barely, let me move my camera here and show you what I'm talking about. You can see how the little bit of green from the pitfall label is poking through in this little window. And this cartridge isn't even halfway into the slot, and it's already very tight, and it's hard to get in there. So I'm gonna do a little surgery with a Dremel and kind of show you how I fix this. Real quick, I'll pull out a board here that has a cartridge guide in place, and actually this one doesn't have the same problem. This is an older board, and the carts insert very easily in this one. But to get these guides out, there's two holes here that are usually covered with masking tape, and you can just poke a small Phillips screwdriver through and remove the two screws, and then there's two tabs, one on either end. Just kind of bend those inward, and this guide will pop right out. And you'll have it here. So I'm going to Dremel this quick. My recommendation is to make sure you wear some safety glasses. The plastic tends to melt and get stuck on this little sanding drum, and sometimes it'll come flying out at you. So you should probably wear some glasses. Not probably, you should wear glasses. And that's what tool I'm going to use. Just a little sanding drum like this. I think they're included in most basic Dremel kits. Seems to work the best. The diameter on it, it's about ideal for what I'm doing. So I'll do a corner here quick, show you. Basically what I'm trying to remove is just that tapered corner right there. And I don't want to remove this top edge here, or the bottom edge here. I want to keep it so the guide is intact as possible, and that these pieces aren't just floating in space. I'll show you what I mean when I have it all out. And when you get to this point, most all the plastic is usually clinging to the guide. There's a very tiny bit there that usually remains in the hole, and you have to kind of snap it out of there. I usually use tweezers and an X-Acto knife. I'm going to kind of trim up any edges that are sticking out. This one could use just a touch more with the Dremel. Clean it up a little more. Even if you have a small file, use even a nail file might work well to kind of clean up these edges if you wanted. Depends on how fussy you want to get. But that's about what I'm going for right there. You can see the material that I removed. You can also see that I kept the top edge here intact and the lower edge as well. And now I'm going to do that to the other 3 corners. Alright, now they're all dremeled. Just going to remove the excess plastic like I did before. Trim them up a bit. And a good idea after you get it all cleaned up is just to take it over the sink and rinse it out, clean it up as best as possible over the years, particularly the cartridge guide, since it's exposed, it gets all dusty and there's all kinds of grime in there. So since you have it apart, there's no better time to clean it up, get it looking as good as possible. Although I guess aesthetics are maybe not the main reason, but it's best to keep all that dirt away from your old games. And that's about it. I'll show you now what I have going on. So now all 4 corners are all cleaned out. You can see right through. And this side piece is still very much intact. And since there's a lot more room here now, it's not going to experience the same kind of pushing out. It doesn't have to have a lot of material to keep it that way. It's not going to crack anymore. And if you take that same pitfall game I was having a hard time putting in there, goes all the way in, no problem. You can see again the label all the way down to the bottom, all the way in the corners. And that's all there is to it. At this point, you just take the guide, snap it back into your board, replace the 2 screws on the bottom, and it's all good to go. That's it. Thanks for watching.